orders are as follows. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our Starfield playthrough,
I
where
wonder if I'll miss New Atlantis when Tony and I leave. No, probably not.
we already went ahead and traveled to the Mast District, and we already have a named character. Can we
One
talk?
day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
How is it going?
Oh, hi there. I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah. I've been struggling to find meaning in my life.
We've all been there, I think. Maybe you just need to find a goal to strive towards. I've been trying to save up enough money so that I can go explore the settled systems with my boyfriend, Tony. I think we're finally getting close.
Do you want to leave New Atlantis? Why?
Tony and I want to see what else is out there. I love my job, but there has to be more to life than just being a janitor in New Atlantis. What about you? Have you gone on any adventures?
Didn't really get out much yet.
Really? I find that hard to believe. You look like you've been through so much. Oh, and I mean that in a good way, of course.
So anything you recommend doing in New Atlantis?
Well, that depends. Are you a foodie or a shopper?
I'm a stealer. I prefer more illicit activities.
I guess I won't ask. But there is a place called The Well that might be more your style. I don't go down there myself. It can be pretty dangerous.
I got it, right. So the well is where all the black market stuff happening. Kinda already had a feeling from the previous episode, but yeah. Anyway, no offense, but you look a bit tired.
Really? Well, I guess you're right. I'm feeling a bit run down. I really love my job, but it's hard work and long hours. I could definitely use a Terracino from Terra Brew right now.
I can get you one, no trouble.
Really? That's so sweet. I really appreciate it.
Deliver a terrible cappuccino to Donna Rain. Don't I already have one in my inventory? I'm gonna ask again, how is it going? Maybe I have
Not
different...
too bad. Found a box of pens the other day. You'd be amazed at what people leave lying around.
Okay, so I guess this is again gives different answers.
You okay? Well, you know, it's one of those days where all I can think about is food. Wonder if my boyfriend will take me to Chunks later.
Maybe. It's still not grayed out. I'm gonna keep asking how is it going.
I can't complain. My boss told me yesterday that I'm one of the best janitors she's ever hired. Feels great to be appreciated.
Well, good for you.
Sometimes I wonder if me and my boyfriend spend too much money on Terra Brew. But somebody's gotta drink it, right?
Yep, but not all of it, just you and him. Come on.
I cleaned up a kid's vomit today. 4th time this week.
Don't think I really wanted to know that, and that was literally the last one.
See you around.
Hey, so, yeah, don't I have a terrible drink? Yeah, I have an espresso. But is it because I acquired it via not legal ways? I cannot give
Another
it?
day, another credit. Take care.
Okay, I think maybe that's the case. Right. Good to know. Is this just information? Let me just... Yeah, okay. So I think it might be the same all over. This is a lift. It actually takes me to the well directly. Looks like.
Last year, a private concert by classical violinist Alyssa DeMille sold for a staggering 70,000 credits. Mr. Singh said in an interview, although we can't expect a repeat of what happened with DeMille, we do ask that everyone open their hearts and their wallets for this worthy cause.
Alright. Good for her. this just information? By any chance, any vending machines? Yeah, I think this is all information on the looks of it. Choose floor. Oh, damn, that's a lot of floors. No, right. Or a lot of sections. Okay, so where exactly... Just curious about the coffees. Okay, deliver. Right, so I need to buy one. Got it. If I stumble upon the Terrible place, I'll remember. Or maybe I can get it from just a vendor. Or... Okay, so we have the archive.
We just need to convince her that President Abeyo isn't the same as her predecessors. That an adversarial UC is a thing of the past.
Does Radcliffe even need to be involved?
President Abeyo wants to foster relations, not fracture them. Keep up.
We'll make sure she knows, ma'am.
Good. I'll see you at the 11:30 then.
Okay, I was wondering if I would get
Star Collective and United Colonies authorities appear
a
hesitant to
potential
officially clamp down on Ecliptic, citing
side
a lack
quest
of
there.
evidence, and the fact that they occasionally still employ the services of the contractor.
Right. Well, you're named.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted.
Wait.
I need to get to the bottom of this.
Aren't you the guy... Yeah, this is the guy that's staring at the tree. Is something wrong? You sound concerned.
Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance? Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me?
I mean, I might be interested if there's something in it for me.
A mercenary, huh? Well, I'm sure we can work something out. So, are you on board?
Wrong. A diplomat. Well, I am that kind of diplomat then. Right, sure, I'd love to help.
Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Alright. Social. So we can survey around here. You selected the side quest. I guess. Wait, wasn't it one here? Nah, okay. I guess they're around the place. Because it showed me one needs like what? Like 60 meters, but maybe I had something else in focus. Never mind then. I might be
We
able to
may
get...
be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been.
Good to know. So there's the lodge. I need to go. This is one. What does it say on the map? Agent plateau, right? And then I have biosensors there. Any other place? It seems like a big area. I'm still a bit annoyed that I still don't have like a proper map. You know? Like to see where the back alleys are and where I can move. It's gonna be really hard to remember everything where it is then. Right, we got one of those, and since this dropped down to 4 days and 7 hours, I'm gonna select the main quest again, because for the other sensors I need to go in other districts and whatnot.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
Okay, finally, we're here.
Captain, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Oh, please.
We'll see. Right, what's this one? Oh, Apollo. Which Apollo? Is this the... which one was it? Apollo 11?
Like this, and I'm banning wages.
That did the lunar landing?
We'll play nice.
I'm not seeing any numbers on it. Unfortunately, but it might be Apollo 11. I believe that was the one that did the lunar landing, or I might have the numbers mixed up.
We appear to have a visitor.
Okay, Vasco is no longer
Welcome
following
to
you.
Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Who are you exactly?
Sarah Morgan, Chair of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, if you would please answer my question.
Wait, why don't we start with you telling me what Constellation is?
Very well. This is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions. Speaking of which, where is Barrett?
Alright, fair enough. I mean, pirates attacked. Barrett asked me to deliver the artifact.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we?
Yes,
what happened
we
when
shall.
it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
How many times has this happened? Who else has had these visions? Is this... So basically, I'm just curious if all the people in the lodge right now had that encounter.
We think it's anyone else who pulls one out of the rock for the first time. Why? We're not sure yet. So if you wouldn't mind adding another data point.
I mean, it was bright lights and music.
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Kadri, if you expect us to believe in fairy
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, Why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Yep, just give me a second, I just saw something. Permanently reduces fall damage by 5%. Don't mind if I do. Also, I'm gonna take that compass. Mariner's compass. Desktop organizers. Yeah, this is all getting sold off. Given to quote-unquote charity. Hard times. This is actually a book. Book the First Sowing, Chapter 1. The one thing needful. Now, what I want is facts. Teach these boys and girls nothing but facts. Facts alone are wanted in life. Plant nothing else and root out everything else. You can only form the minds of reasoning animals upon facts. Nothing else will ever be of any service to them. This is the principle on which I bring up my own children. And this is the principle on which I bring up these children. Stick to facts, sir. By far the smallest of Charles Dickens' novels, Hard Times chronicles the lives of the residents of Coketown, a fictional Victorian industrial mill city. Then the Pickwick Papers. Okay, this we already read. Christmas Carol, Stave 1, Molly's Ghost. Molly was dead to begin with, there is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hands to. Old Marley was as dead as a door nail. Charles Dickens' 1843 novella, considered his most famous work, chronicles the redemption of the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge as he is visited by four ghosts who force him to analyze his life and the decision he has made. Right. Then Nicholas Nickleby or Nickleby. I don't know. Chapter 1 introduces all the rest. There once lived in a sequestered part of the county of Devonshire one Mr. Godfrey Nickleby, a worthy gentleman who, taking it into his head rather late in life that he must get married, and not being young enough or rich enough to aspire to the hand of a lady of fortune, had wedded an old flame out of mere attachment, who in her turn had taken him for the same reason. Thus, two people who cannot afford to play cards for money sometimes sit down to a quiet game of love. Charles Dickens' third novel is the tale of a young man who struggles to support his family after his father inadvertently plunges them all into poverty, then dies. Okay, soil box. I mean, these have a value over here. Ooh, this is looking nice. This boat right here. Fancy compass. Submarine clock. I do have a value on it. Judging by how expensive stuff is. Yeah, we're gonna need it. Can we chat?
Sorry there isn't time for longer introductions, but we need to see the artifact.
We're all waiting on you.
Got it. Ooh, I can go outside. Hold up. Eat. Whiskey glass, dinner plate. Sandwich. Moth vine, okay. Can I scan? I need to remember actually to open the scanner as well. So I just got some crafting materials, I suppose. Noel?
Please, we need to analyze what you found.
If you could put the artifact on the table.
I know I wanted to say Sharon. That is Sarah. Okay, this is pretty much about it. Let's put it on the table.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Now there are 3.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Godfrey?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
You want me in Constellation? What does that mean? What's expected?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
Right. And how much do you know about the artifacts? What are they? As they pass between us, them.
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Alright. I mean, tell me what happens next.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Nice. Okay. That's the achievement. Join Constellation.
That you know something no one else does.
Okay, whole neighborhood, talk to Sarah.
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir
Talk
went
to
to live
Noel
on the
for
iPhone time.
some quarters. Okay. That's finished. Right, so just Noel for quarters. The rest, maybe just introduce ourselves. Ooh, I actually did not notice
This is
up
all
here.
exciting, but there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't
still
there?
glad you joined Constellation,
this right.
Noel.
Lately, I find myself spending more and more time.
You know that.
Business has
An
appealed to me,
invaluable asset
but
to the group,
this
Noel.
is exciting.
Just wanted to make sure.
Alright, I'll start with Matteo.
Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Matteo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Okay, well, that's interesting turn of events. What do you make of the vision I saw?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but you know, if the label fits.
Yeah, okay, so it's just me and Barrett. I thought maybe all of these guys that are here in the lodge would have had the same vision. But you think this was a religious experience?
Not necessarily, no, but it does kind of have the hallmarks of one, doesn't it? I'm certainly not going to rule it out just yet.
I mean, I know it's important, I can feel it. From what we saw, I also saw like math calculations and whatnot. It was not just, you know, visual, nebulous universe and whatnot. So I'm curious.
It has to be, right? All of this is connected. We just need to figure out how and why. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
So these artifacts all came out of caves?
Second one was on Kazal, buried, the same as the one you found.
But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
All right, thank you for the information.
Take care of yourself.
Take note.
Walter?
Everyone here is worth learning from. Yes, even the kid.
I agree with that.
I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
You've been called worse. Don't take it to heart.
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Well, glad to be here.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Okay, so this is like telling me set up outpost to mine resources and whatnot. Got it. Can you tell me what kind of company is Stroud Eklund?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
I mean, I guess every CEO would say that about their company. Alright, about my vision, do you think it means anything?
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
Not that I know of. I mean, you mean, have I seen something like this before, right?
This? Or anything else? You'll have to forgive me. I don't know you as well as the others here. If you weren't so new to the group, I might already know the answer.
Sure, I see lights and hear music all the time. It's a non-stop party in my head. That's probably pretty much a lot of us in real life. But no, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. but I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
Okay. And what's your role in Constellation?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
Well, this isn't where I'd expect to find the CEO, that's for sure.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the lodge home, as much as anywhere else.
All right, thank you for the information.
Until next time.
Until next time.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
Hey, Noel, I do need to talk with you.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
You're welcome. How long have you been working on all this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
Yet. He might be coming later on, hopefully. What do you think the vision? What do you think of it?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
Yeah, I'm thinking something about that. Could be like data storage, and since our brain is not developed, or kind of hard to interpret. Again, something similar with the story in Mass Effect, but since it's only me and Barrett that saw the vision, there is another thing that I'm thinking about. I'm gonna mention it a bit later on. Let's just finish with the conversation.
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't random synapses firing it. It means something.
Sure. I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through. It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
Okay. I was wondering about other types of exploration work besides the artifacts.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
Got it. Okay, so I think this is where we can sell our survey data and whatnot. Or deliver. And okay, you seem to know a lot about these artifacts.
Oh gosh, no, I mean that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two. and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
Okay, you say 2, but I'm seeing more than 2 pieces. Is actually like the 3 pieces?
Everything all right?
Yeah. There were 3 pieces, but it's kind of like a Lego piece, a bigger one, and once they came together, they can split up in several pieces. Because definitely that's not 3 pieces what I saw here, or maybe it's a visual glitch, and and it's actually 3 pieces. Anyway, well, let me know how I can help you learn more.
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition, I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
And how will this help us?
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Huh. So, I'm thinking she is trying to look from an angle that maybe the artifacts were active at some point and it kind of influenced what was growing on the planet. That could be something. But yeah, I have some organic resources for you.
Anything I can learn from is a help.
Oh, but is this just... Also, I'm 135 out of 145, so that means I can get the thing for the skill, you know, sprint while having a lot of stuff on us. That's definitely over 75%. But I guess this is actually if you wanna get rid of some resources that you don't wanna use as crafting. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I think that's the case. I thought maybe it would be like quest item type of organic resources, and I just get the credits.
You're awfully quiet.
Right, where can I stay?
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously.
But I'll indulge.
Walter's quite
I'm
proud
told
of
that
the
when I'm not
collection,
here,
but
I'm distracted
Mateo
by
has
what I
made
might be
more than a
missing
few
and
contributions.
wind up crabby.
Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation.
My
Emphasis on the
darling
quiet
Lisa
part,
has
at least
concluded
usually.
that it is in
Let's head
both
upstairs.
best interests.
Sebastian
Right.
Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago.
Yeah,
It was a big to-do at the time, but most
upstairs.
people in the city have forgotten we're here.
Ah, I thought maybe through this door. Never mind. So I could have gotten upstairs anytime. I guess so. We're gonna check these doors. Probably these are rooms for each of the members. I see a crafting area. We don't need a vase. And you don't even have any. Okay, Nicholas Nickelboy, the same. Origin of species. Chapter 1, Variation under Domestication. Included is a rather incomprehensible list of varieties of species. When we look to the individuals of the same variety of or sub-variety of our elder cultivated plants and animals, one of the first points which strikes us is that they generally differ much more from each other than do the individuals of any species any one species or variety in a state of nature. When we reflect on the vast diversity of the plants and animals which have been cultivated and which have varied during all ages under the most different climates and treatment, I think we are driven to conclude that this greater variability is simply due to our domestic productions having been raised under conditions of life not so uniform as and somewhat different from those to which the parent species have been exposed under nature. Darwin's theory on the origin of species on Earth continues through 14 full chapters, ranging from biology to geography and everything in between. Really? We have Dracula? Jonathan Harker's journal in chapter 1. Kept in shorthand. 3rd of May, Bistritz. Left Munich at 8:35 p.m. on 1st May. Arriving at Vienna early next morning. Should have arrived at 6:46, but the train was an hour late. Budapest seems a wonderful place. From the glimpse which I got off it from the train and the little I could walk through the streets. I feared to go very far from the station, as we had arrived late and would start as near the correct time as possible. The impression I had was that we were leaving the west and entering the east, the most western of splendid bridges over the Danube, which is here of noble width and depth, took us among the tradition of Turkish rule. So begins Bram Stoker's 1897 masterpiece, Dracula, a book that would define horror for generations to come. And I think there was another note that I might have gotten. Installation guide. Okay, now this one. Think Moby Dick, yeah. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. And so continues Melville's classic tale of revenge and obsession, for a total of 341 pages. Okay, and then, yeah, origin and species. Yeah, because again, I kinda... Sir Livingstone's journal. Sir Malcolm Livingstone's appointment to the role of Constellation Chair was controversial, to say the least, as he essentially bought his way into the position. Nevertheless, Banks's contribution to the organization were substantial, as evidenced by this excerpt from his personal journal. In time, the others will come to accept me as chair, I'm sure. Until then, I remain committed to improving this organization to the best of my abilities. And if those improvements rely even more on my already considerable monetary contributions, then so be it. I agreed we needed a robot, but disagreed with the purchase of a newer model A Lunar Robotics. A newer model A. Okay, here was a comma over there. Lunar Robotics is a shadow of what it once was. Instead, I managed to procure an original Model A, manufactured on the moon. Bought him for a song, found him rusting in some junk heap in Aquila City. I'm having him refurbished as I write this, and in a couple of days he'll be good as new. I've decided to name him Vasco, and like his namesake, I imagine he'll be as flawed as he is effective. My next step is renovating the lodge. Sebastian Banks has the good sense to name the building appropriately, but it's time to inject a bit of old world grandeur. If you are to be the gatekeepers of art, science, culture, and exploration, our headquarters must express that. It's time I called in some favors and searched in those hidden corners of the settled systems to procure the things that would truly make this place come alive. There are some treasures from old Earth that desperately need an appropriate home. Well, about that, they're not gonna be here for quite some time. Cocktail turner, martini glass. I'm helping you guys here. You don't need to drink. Alcohol is bad. Martini glass. I mean, they're okay for me taking all of this stuff, so I need the credits. Okay, I'm wearing too much. Good to know. Ooh, a lot of Cabernet Sauvignons. Pinot Noir, I think I saw. Chardonnays. By the time I'm done here, nothing else will be remaining here. We still have the taps, guys. Don't worry, we can get beer from the
So
taps.
this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself. Within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full.
Okay, there were a couple of other things that I could read. I just picked up. So I have cooking station. Good to know. Oh, damn, right, there's another area way over here. Nothing of interest here? I mean, you do have the extinguisher, sure. Seriously, maybe I should stop looting. There was more documents that I took. Great expectations. Right, chapter 1. My father's family's name is being Pirip, and my Christian name Philip. My infant tongue could make of both names nothing longer or more explicit than Pip. So I called myself Pip, and came to be called Pip. Charles Dickens' 13th novel is the coming-of-age tale of an orphan boy named Pip, as he navigates the agendas of those around him, like the eccentric Miss Havisham. I believe that one I haven't read. Journal, yes. How much weight do I have? Ooh, 174, right.
Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
Suppose maybe that's
I know everyone's excited by the art. Stay safe, okay?
Yeah, I see a cup, no. Binoculars. No, I don't wanna sit. Although we are good looking. What do you have over here? Any drinks? Desktop organizer, pen. Ooh, weapon case. I cannot open it yet. Bad people, bad jokes 1. Knock knock, who's there? Varun. Varun who? Varun. Listen to that engine. Really? Really? An alien spider beast walks into a bar in Aquila City. Bartender asks, "What's your poison?" Relatively okay. Why did the Crimson Fleet pirate go to an enhanced clinic? He wanted more booty. Okay, that's a good one. Knock knock, who's there? Neon. Neon who? You put one knee on the floor. Genuflect, 2 knees to kneel. Okay, I didn't exactly get that one. You hear the one about the Fleet Star Ranger who couldn't get into the conference? He forgot his badge. Yeah, okay. Grease Loppers, bad people, bad jokes has garnered something of a cult. Alright. This was Carol. Yeah, already read that. Tale of Two Cities. The period. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us, we were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. Charles Dickens' classic novel of society, war, class, and family continues for a total of 341 pages. Okay, I don't know which room is this. So you said this is my room. Okay. I'll probably just get some stuff from my room and then Chardonnay. Digiframe. Okay, so we have storage. We can put stuff in it. Moby Dick, we already read. Great Expectation, read. Okay, we can sleep there. I'll check the other rooms quick in case. Cosmetic supply. Just wondering, maybe we can find something that increases my stuff. You know, stealth, melee, or whatnot. Oh, white wine. Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. Oatmeal. Increases regeneration. Okay, we can sleep in any beds, but that's already owned by somebody. Board game. Issues. Oh, this is where pharmaceutical lab, medical kit. Again, this is somebody's room. Anything of interest here? So what can we make? This is the one, yeah. Bandages, snake oil, whatnot. So far, we should be fine. We have not made any big drops or whatnot. Lamp planter. Second journal for Sir Livingstone's. I heard tell from some of the old-timers that although the Earth suffered its sad fate, that her faithful companion, Luna, fared much better. Apparently you can still find the remnants of one of the old Apollo missions, something of a secret rite of passage for chairs of constellation, if Banks was to be believed. During one of those rare interludes of calm, while doing other research on Earth, I figured I could spare the time. I was, as they say, in the neighborhood. It took some serious scanning and a couple of false leads, but I found it. To walk in the same place as those earliest of interstellar explorers. Unbelievable what they achieved with such primitive technology. I found the whole experience moving, inspiring. I would advise my successor to do the same. We'll make a proper tradition of it yet. Here's an excerpt from Sir Malcolm Livingstone, second journal. Oh, and that actually gives me a side quest. The Apollo mark on Luna. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm gonna do. Okay, so our so this is my room. Okay. That's printing. Game, come on. What's this? What about this door? Report. The Clark Lewis. I breached the hull at approximately 13:48 Sol time. As expected, all internal systems were offline. Emergency power had ceased to function years earlier, so I was navigating the ship in 0G. Again, I expected that. Almost immediately, I started seeing the bodies. They were everywhere. The crew, the settlers, all of them, drifting throughout the ship. What surprised me were the obvious variations in the causes of death. Those not in suits were frozen and fairly well preserved, and I imagine some of them actually asphyxiated. Others were emaciated, as if they had starved prior to death and freezing. Others had substantial wounding, gunshots, stab wounds. I even found an arm floating among the debris, but not the owner of said arm. It was when I got to the engine room that things finally started to make sense. Due to my approach, I hadn't noticed it from the outside, but half of the compartment was actually gone, completely destroyed. The helium-3 tanks had ruptured. Somehow. Sabotage? Faulty equipment? It wasn't clear, but the reactor was gone, blown into space. No helium-3 meant no jumping. No reactor meant no engines, no thrusters. That meant the Clark Lewis was dead in space. Forever. A few personal logs I discovered only confirmed what I then assumed. Life on the Clark Lewis devolved over the course of the next few years. Some people starved to death, others resorted to violence and even murder. There was even some compelling, though unsubstantiated, evidence that indicated cannibalism. For the settled systems at large, the disappearance of the Clark Lewis is a topic of urban legend, like Bigfoot or Roanoke colony. Part of the myth held that the ship had made it to some Eden-like planet where the settlers had established a kind of utopia. It's a hell of a thing knowing something an entire galaxy does not. Holding on to a truth so terrible. You're not even sure it should see the light of day. Chloe Bauer's extensive 2282 report on the destruction of the Clark Lewis colony ship, which was reported lost in the year 2257, was a subject of much contention within Constellation. At a time when space exploration was already on decline, Sebastian Banks feared that the horrifying story of the Clark Lewis and its crew would prevent people from venturing out into dangerous unknowns of space. Side quest, maybe? No? Okay, Aja Mamasa's diary. Seems like just yesterday I was pulled into this exciting new organization, Constellation. We would push the boundaries of human knowledge and experience by exploring farther into space than anyone had before. Or all into the Starfield. Roll credits. Right. God, I was so young. We all were, but I was the youngest of us all. Now, here we are, on the brink of disaster. The colony war may be over, but the settler systems seem to just be waiting for the next one. Exploration is now, at best, quaint. At worst, irrelevant. Fortunately, and it was no small feat, I've managed to put together a list of potential new members. They are Erwin Madani, young biologist and physician from the Freestar Collective. Barrett, promising young physicist from the UC. A colorful character, to say the least. Alice Campbell, woman of action and pilot, claims to have flown every type of ship at least once. Russell Luther, astronomer and former Freestar Collective military. Argumentative by effective. Vaisola Chen, philosopher, historian, specializes in humanity's early days of exploration, of space exploration. Jintao Min, dedicated to finding truth among the stars. Neon Hitman rumors are troubling. With any luck, this new blood will be just what Constellation needs to keep going. Maybe. Hopefully. From the personal diary of Eija Mamasa, former Constellation chair. Interesting. So I'm wondering if we're gonna meet them. Okay, Sebastian Banks' speech. Okay, it's not voice acted. The following is an excerpt of Constellation founder Sebastian Banks' stirring 2276 speech to United Colonies leadership about the importance of continued space exploration. This is why, my esteemed peers, I beseech you, do not forgo the dreams of humanity only to plunge civilization into an endless nightmare. The settled system stands once more on the brink of war. And for what? A dispute over space? The cosmos is infinite, and yet, like our earthbound ancestors, we have become selfishly obsessed over what we consider ours. At our core, are we a race of conquerors? Of warriors? No, my friends. If nothing else, humans are explorers. So let us continue exploring. Now is the time to venture beyond the imagined borders of the settled systems and fulfill the dreams of humanity. Or if we continue down this path, funding only war and not exploration, I fear there will be no one left to remember why we fought in the first place. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Okay, I see credit disk. Report on Constellation. The following is an excerpt from a 2283 SSNN news report about Constellation's near collapse. And although Constellation's relevance has been a subject of much debate amongst the New Atlantis intelligentsia, the disappearance of founder Sebastian Banks was a blow most felt the organization couldn't survive. In fact, Constellation's disbanding seemed imminent until member Chloe Bao changed her vote in the 11th hour, thus ensuring the groups continue the operation at least for the time being, as well as her unexpected appointment to the position of chair. Okay, more credit sticks, don't mind if I do. And I think this might be pretty much it. Okay, so we did the full circle, right? Okay, I need to find the door. Oh, no, I don't have the key. And this is exit. What about down here then? I guess, yeah, research lab, workbench, spacesuit, onions, lettuce or cabbages, medkit. Okay, weapon rack. Take the tools. Mission board. Locate extinction event in Altair. This may require serving multiple planets within the system, right? I'm assuming I can take all of this, right? I'm not seeing any timing on this one, so a mission to locate the planet trait is the most challenging survey mission. You need to search an entire solar system for a planet that has the target trait. Locate planets in the target system that have traits. This is indicated at the bottom of a planet. Okay. Unsurveyed planets will have unknown traits. Delta Pavonis. Vega system. And Eridani. Right. This is quite a bit of a reward though. I doubt there's any forever humor. Whose bed might be this? Some snacks, sure. Bathroom. Some credits, don't mind if I do. Screwdriver. Master lockpick, which I cannot do. Oh, this takes me to the well. Sure, I might do that because I need to free up my inventory. So yeah, I'm just curious to see where in the well it takes me out. Oh, right. This is literally very a route that's very hidden. Okay, so I'm just gonna... Oh, can I take that painting? No. I'm gonna leave it here. This is already kind of long.
I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still.
I miss kinda that storage box. Right. I'm curious, can I fast travel? Ah, I cannot fast travel. Right, I need to do this manually. I guess I can do this off screen.
I am at your service, Captain.
And I need to talk with Sarah anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do this off screen because it's gonna take me a while. And I'll check to see the certification as well. Sprint for 1000 meters. I'll probably just sprint around here. Just to have available the next rank once I level up. And yeah, I'll just point out if I get any side quest or whatnot along my way to the well or any selling kiosk. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for this episode, and we advanced just a tad bit, but we had a lot to read. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this part, guys, and I'll see you next time. But as always, don't forget to take care.